Hey, good afternoon, everyone. Just making another video here. It's Tuesday, the 16th of May, and some things just kind of popped in my head throughout the day. I kind of felt the need to release some steam. Basically, one of the things that I wanted to address was I've heard quite a few people, not in specific, but just in generalities, stating that it's extremely hard to get a job, and they're always getting turned down for job after job after job after job after job. When the way that I see it is, you get yourself a basic high school education, entry-level job skills, and you're applying for a job that has those as the minimum requirement. But the thing is, your level of achievement is low enough to where there's a large portion of people with the exact same resume as you. So therefore, when you put in for jobs, you're putting in for jobs that so many people are putting in for that your resume or your application might get drowned out by the amount of individuals putting in for that specific job. So what I'm trying to say is, if you're trying to differentiate yourself from other people, you need to do it in much more of a strategic way. For example, if you have the same educational background as 100 to 200 people that are put in for the exact same job, and it's a basic entry-level high school education job, you need to do things, get certifications that put you above the pack. Not try to go to college and get an associate's degree, because then you're going to be an individual that has the minimum requirements and advanced certifications, advanced educational accomplishments that they can add to the resume. And so therefore, if I was an employer looking at all these applicants, I say, this person here, everyone here looks the same. It's black and white, black and white. Everyone looks the same. But then you get this one person with an associate's degree, or someone who's actually in college, close enough, and they're closing in on that degree. That, to me, shows dedication, it shows motivation, and it shows the ability to challenge oneself for self-betterment. Therefore, that person would stand out to me much more than any of the other ones. Because when you meet the basic requirements for a job that a lot of people can put in for, when you're the same as everyone else, sometimes whoever knows the person in that department's going to get the job, because it was easy to say that they're all the same and this one person happened to know one person in that department, so they got the job. Or they had the last name. Or there was, nepotism or favoritism. So when you're the same as everyone else and someone has to make a decision, you leave those as possibilities to rule you out for that job. So the thing is, if you're complaining on about not being able to find the job, you're always getting turned down for these positions, look at the positions you're putting in for. What exactly are the job requirements? Are the job requirements for that specific job entry level? Are they the bare basic minimum requirements, educationally? And if they are, you're going to have a lot of competition, and the higher education you get, the less competition you get. That's just how it is. Because people that sacrifice their personal time, their lives, their social lives, are demonstrating that they're willing to put in the work to reap the benefits of that hard work later. The people that just graduate high school and say, yes, I'm ready for the world. You're not ready for the world. I'm not saying that it doesn't happen, because there's a lot of entrepreneurs that, become millionaires and, design these great companies and businesses that have just that business mindset that, you can't really teach in college. It just comes from instinct and how they were raised and some of their, parental upbringing. But the thing is, if you graduate high school and you're like, yay, I'm done, you're not done, and if you are done, you're putting yourself into a large bucket of people that also said, hey, I'm done, and now we're gonna butt heads with each other, competing over, 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 possible jobs, and there's like a couple hundred of us. And then you're also, leaving yourself open for outside competition from outside the tribe, who also get a chance to put in for the job, even though they are allowed to discriminate applicants based upon, whether they're tribal, whether they're native but not tribal, or if they're non-tribal, non-native. And so all these people get to put in for that one job, and your resume looks exactly like everyone else's, and you also have a spotted employment history based upon poor attendance, poor work ethic, poor work performance, and or behavioral issues. That's going to follow you. Your resume looks like everyone else's, and you expect someone to say, you know what, this person's it, man. They look the same as everyone else, and they got a spotted job history, and they've been fired a few times, but I think they learned their lesson. Nobody's going to put their job and their reputation on the line for someone with that sort of resume. They want someone who's going to come in there, that's going to do the job, that's going to stick around, that's going to do the work that they need that person to do, and they're going to pick the best person because their name's on the line. So if you're one of the people that are complaining all the time about, I can't find work, I can't find a job, this and that, you're making excuses. The thing that you need to do is, if you're trying to get into a certain position, a certain job, learn as much as you can about it. Get to know the manager. Ask, whose department is this? Can I talk to the manager? Yes, I was applying for that one position, and I really wanted to know what you basically look for in an employee. What's the dress code? What's something that I can do between now and the interviewing and screening process to make me more of a valuable candidate for this position? I'm really eager and I want to learn. Get to know that person. Are you going out of your way to talk to them, to show them that you're dedicated and motivated and you want to learn as much as you can for this position? Or are you just applying for the job and sitting back and waiting for that email to come along? Simply because you put in for a job does not entitle you to a job or even an interview. I think that the people that put in the most work, and there are people out there that go above and beyond what you do, those are the people that get recognition. Those are the ones that get the callbacks. Those are the ones that get the interviews. Those are the ones that get the jobs. For my job, when I put in for it, I didn't have all the requirements, but what I did is between the time I applied and the time of the interview, I got all the certifications taken care of. And then when I went in for my interview, I said, bam, this is what you guys asked for. I got these done in the last 2 or 3 weeks. That's everything I need. I'm good to go. And hey, I got the call back, I got the job, and everything's been set for the last 2 years. I'm good. The thing is, you need to put in work, you need to put in time, you need to invest yourself into learning more about the position. You can't simply apply for a job and expect to get a call back. If you have the exact same educational certifications and training certifications as everybody else, nothing makes you special. And then if you're the same as everyone else, you're going to leave it up to someone having that last name that gets them a job over you, or knowing that one person in that department that gets them a job over you. So unless you make the sacrifice to go out of your way to differentiate yourself from all the other applicants, you're leaving yourself up to that chance. And if it were me, I wouldn't do that. I would do everything that I could to differentiate myself by getting as many certifications as I can, doing as much research as I can, contacting as many people as I can, finding everything I need to know about that job, and making sure when I go into the interview, they know who I am before they even shake my hand. That's the idea. I did it in college, and that's why I got plenty of professors that wanted to write me letters of recommendation, because they knew me. Even though there was 400 people in the class, they knew my name. I went out of time, I went to their class hours, I talked to them, I engaged conversation, I talked about the chapters, I talked about, the syllabus for the quarter, I talked about exams, I talked about group projects, all of that. You have to go out of your way to show that you care and to show that you have the initiative and you're motivated. Because if you don't, you leave yourself up to chance, and more often than not, you're going to miss out. And so You need to do what you need to do. Go out of your way, show that you're different, and differentiate yourself from the pack. That's all I had to say. I got to go pick up my daughter now. Have a great night. I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks.